争霸3黄金联赛冬季赛。本次比赛是由网易暴雪主办，哔哩哔哩电竞承办，并为您全程直播。大家好，我是你们的老朋友雪妍，又见面了，你们好吗？今天上海是非常冷，但是我又看到了各位观众你们的热情，再次感谢各位来到我们的现场。那么经历过5个多月的准备，以及无数场月赛，20名来自中国、韩国、欧洲和美洲的选手又再一次杀到了上海，他们在这里争夺最终冬季赛的冠军名额。本次比赛我们的小组赛直播时间是为11月23日至11月26日，8强赛是11月27日，而决赛将在11月30日上演。让我们一起为他们加油！今天是我们比赛日的第1天比赛，而登场的是 A 组和 B 组的选手。让我们先来看一下 A 组都有哪5位选手，请看 VCR。让我们欢迎 A 组选手登场，他们分别是来自欧洲的选手 Hawk。来自中国的选手 LF 无法阵，来自韩国的选手 Check， 来自韩国的选手 LF So In， 以及来自中国的选手 Yumiko。相信从各位掌声里面，我已经知道你们都最喜欢的是谁和支持的是谁了。我们把掌声送给 A 组的5个选手，祝他们今天可以发挥出色。下去我们欢迎的是来自 B 组的选手，请看 VCR。一下，接下去我们把时间交给2位解说。
Welcome to WGL Winter. The Cathedral of Warcraft 3 has opened for the 20 best players in the world. They will fight for $70,000, and the champion of Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, man, the last Frozen Throne champion, will be crowned here in Shanghai.
Absolutely. Who's it going to be this time? Just half a year ago, we had the summer edition there, was happy in a phenomenal tournament, taking the crown back to Europe for the first time in so many years. Can he do it again? Is it going to be someone else? Who will be crowning? And who will be playing the most amazing games?
Good question, Remo. We had 2 back-to-back champions in TH and 1-2-0. Can he do it again? Is the question here. We have 20 players this time, not only 16. That means 4 days of round-robin group stage. Today, A and B. Tomorrow, C and D. A and B continues on November 25, and then the final day of the group stage on November 26. The round of 8, November 27, and the grand final, the final 4, Saturday, November 30.
That's going to be the big day. It's going to be a massive celebration in a stadium. The first time we're going to have the big show in front of a huge audience. Looking so forward to this. Here we have the players from China, from Korea, and from Europe and America.
Indeed. TH, Infi, 1-0, Fly, Colorful, Romantic, WFZ, Yumiko from China, Moonlin, Lawlight, Focus, Sok, Chimiko, So in Czech from Korea, and the 4 Western representatives, 3 from Europe and CIS, that is Happy, Foggy, and Hawk. Hitman, representing the US, and of course the Americas combined. That is the best that Warcraft has to offer. We have had many WGLs where we said, oh, this guy is missing, or this player is missing, and he's not here because of no. Not this time, no. This is the elite.
And that's the nice thing about having 20 players here as well. We have the chance to invite more players, and more players have the chance to prove themselves here. Today it's going to be Group A and B. Hitman, the first time here at WGL. We did an interview already with him, by the way, which is going to be uploaded soon to our YouTube. Very interesting guy, sounds confident, and yeah, the West in general, the foreigners in general, have seemingly become more confident with Happy's victory in the last season.
And especially Hawk. He is in Group A. This is seemingly the weakest group. He's facing WFZ, Czech, Soin, and Yumiko, but do not underestimate this group. It's going to be a tough challenge for him at WCGs, the WCAs. Hawk was always very good, but at the Gold League,
Yeah.
Shanghai is not his home turf, that's for sure. Czech, we have seen him doing deep runs. WFZ has been in the quarterfinals already, same as Yumiko. And last time it was time for Sok and Chimiko to step it up. Maybe it's time for Soin.
Yeah, always an interesting story to see who's going to be the other breakout players, like, you know, the greats TH, Happy, 1-2-0, Lin. We just expect them to do well, but there's always 1 or 2 players at least which really have an impressive showing at the WGL and seemingly take that next step to the next tier, last time being Sok and Chimiko, and I wonder who it's going to be this time.
Group B is the group of death, and that is where Foggy finds himself. This group is so insane, no player has been less than a Vice World Champion.
Yeah.
We have 4 WGL titles in this group with TH, Fly, and yeah, Vice Championships in
Absolutely.
Foggy and Lin, and of course Lawlight being a WCA Vice Champion.
We could absolutely see any of these guys in the grand final. It's going to be a super competitive group stage between them in Group B. Question is, who's in better shape currently?
Indeed, and more players means more money. The winner takes home $35,000. The runner-up, $17,500. The combined prize pool is $70,000. That's the highest WGL has ever had.
And, well, we've been able to observe it throughout the last couple of months. Warcraft 3, you know, is picking up steam. Reforge is going to be coming soon. And the Chinese audience, the Chinese investors and tournament organizers, they're getting more invested literally with money, but also with interest. And, yeah, the scene is picking up. The games are getting better and better. The players are getting stronger and stronger. And today's the opening day. We've been waiting for this day for so long. And it's finally here.
And the day looks pretty awesome. Lin versus Fly to start the day. And you might think, oh, that's an Orc mirror. That's not too great. Oh, you missed something, ladies and gentlemen, because Orcs tend to go tier 3 these days. This matchup is definitely a little more spicy than it was before. Afterwards, the only Western player shown on the broadcast here today in Hawk. Can he overcome the undead? The 3rd best undead in the world in WFZ. Clash of the Titans in Human versus Night Elf. It's going to be RW versus Newbie. TH versus Lawlight.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
A battle of the brothers in Game 4. Yumiko making his comeback here at WGL. Last time he was here as a caster. Now he's back in the ring himself, fighting his former 2-on-2 ally, WFZ. And the main event is so sick. It's Lin versus TH. We don't have to talk more about this game. It's Lin versus TH. If you have any interest in Warcraft 3, you know that you have to watch this match.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing but fireworks at the end of the day. Looking so forward to this. Players have been refining strategies. These last couple of weeks have been optimizing their builds. Warcraft 3, the meta, by the way, has undergone a lot of changes, especially actually in that matchup.
Yes.
Who is going to be able to innovate still at this tournament? Has somebody been saving strategies? I mean, in the qualifiers 4 months leading up to this, a lot of them played seriously a lot of the time, but other players play a lot of random, play a lot of off-race, maybe keeping the best plays for this tournament.
We will see Infi tomorrow. He won a qualifier with random. Nuts.
Yeah.
But that's just Infi for you guys. We will talk about him tomorrow and the day after, I guess. This, like, what are the chances for the Western players from our perspective? I think Hawk has a very good shot in his group. Foggy has to make the run of his lifetime, but whenever he came to Shanghai, he wasn't here last time, but whenever he came to Shanghai, he made it into the playoffs. And every time he came to Shanghai, we doubted him. He found himself in groups with Moon and TH, and he overcame all the odds.
Yes.
But this is like high mountains before Mount Everest this time.
Absolutely. You know, I want to root for Foggy. I want to see him once again getting far. We all know how much this game and these tournaments mean to him. And as you said, he wasn't in the last WGL. It really seemed to be a big blow to him. And yes, every time he's here, he's playing well. This tournament suits him. He can prepare for his opponents. He's relying on his builds. That's his strength, not the grinding on and the micro wars.
That's a very good point, because in his group, he's facing 3 orcs in Lin, Fly, and... 2 orcs, sorry. But if you take out these 2 orcs, then you have a pretty good shot. And historically, Foggy was pretty good against orcs. So.
Yeah, he has something to make up for, definitely. He didn't make it through the last qualifier. That was just unbelievable.
Cash defeating him with human.
Cash defeating him with off-race human. Absolutely. But ever since then, Foggy has been stepping up a little bit again. So perhaps this is where finally steps back into the limelight.
We will see Lin twice today, at the very beginning and at the very end. The alpha and omega of day 1 is the Korean living in Chengdu, China, with his lovely wife. Representing newbie, of course, and this is the first out of 2 newbie versus, out of 3 actually, newbie versus rogue warrior battles in this year. These are the 2 top clans.
Yep. And Lin especially, looking forward very much so to him. He's an innovator as well. Everyone in the scene, all the orcs look towards him for inspiration. To be honest, his most recent pass hasn't been that good. He is the king of the orcs, but his crown was threatened by Focus. If you want to be gracious, maybe also by Fly. Most recently, he seems to be getting back in shape, though. But think back to his performances before in WGL. Yes, he made titles and grand finals in other tournaments, but in WGL, it's been years since we saw him in a final.
He was in the final against 120, man. That is like 2 years ago. Since then, he was oftentimes disappointing. Sometimes it was a little bit the meta that didn't suit him too well. Otherwise, it was just not the top tier performance that you are, like, it's necessary here in Shanghai. But here, this year Winter, Lin comes in as the strongest force, not only according to the Warcraft 3.info ELO ranking, which is a great indicator for a player's performance recently. He's number 1 right there. He's one of the 2 players to crack 2,300 ELO points alongside TH. And he won CC Masters. He won the CC Masters qualifier. And he won the last WGL qualifier. So if someone is in shape here, it's Lin.
And importantly also to note, in the CC Masters, he was playing against Infi quite a bit, against a lot of humans. And if you want to be successful right now, you have to be able to play well against humans. Humans certainly looking pretty good, and we have a lot of them in this tournament, and TH and Infi are just always there. They are always the juggernauts. Speaking of favorites, you say Lin, and I certainly count him among them, but Infi has been looking so extremely hot lately, and TH, you know, if he plays offline, he can just bust out the beast mode, and nobody seems to be able to stop him. Last season, that's exactly what it looked like for TH. Nobody could beat him until he met Happy, and then he met his better.
Absolutely. Map, picks, and bans. This is our map pool, ladies and gentlemen, the standard competitive map pool in Warcraft 3 2019. Amazonia, Concealed Hills, Echo Isles, Last Refuge, Northern Isles, Terrana Stand, and Twisted. So, in this newly shaping Orc Mirror, what are we going for in this matchup? We will see. Oh, Twisted Meadows is out. Lin vetoes that. Okay. He doesn't want to do the creeping roulette, because Twisted Meadows is a very big map with a lot of big creep spots, and if you have a lucky position, you can be a little faster.
It's a lot of RNG.
Yes.
If you find Vamp Aura plus Boots of Quel'Thala's, and your opponent finds, I don't know, Rune Bracers and Belt, it's hard to come back from that. So we're removing that one out. Yeah, Orc Mirror nowadays has changed quite a bit. We see a lot of Tier 3. We see actually seriously Torrents, which makes me happy every time I see him. I don't know how.
Not only the Chieftain, but the actual unit.
Actual Torrents. Yes. Tier 3 Torrents, triple hero, all that stuff. Especially Infi has been very fond of that lately. Seems like he was actually the influencer, weirdly enough. But these two have been playing Orc Mirrors for so many years. Maybe they're going to rotate back to the Tier 2 Raider Walker style, which, of course, they are masters at executing.
Fly vetoing Northern Isles. Lin Oh, Fly has double ban. And Terranar stand as well. Lin, besides Concealed Hill, needs to be out. And this leaves us with Amazonia, Echo Isles, and Last Refuge. And especially looking at AZ. We see Shadowhunter first openings on this very map. So especially by Lin, who was one of the innovators alongside Soin, who we will see in this tournament as well. I'm looking for, yeah, and he picks it. There must be a game plan right here. But there's a little bit of a history with Lin, Fly, and AZ. It was a match not too long ago, like 2 weeks, I guess. Their most recent encounter went all the way best of 3 to the third game, and it was super 50-50 between them. And then came AZ, deciding map. Lin, he's known for this Shadowhunter. Fly not so much, but guess what? Fly picked the SH, picked the Pit Lord, and crushed Lin.
Yeah, Shadowhunter Pit Lord has been popular ever since 1.30, and every now and then we see it incorporated. And that's so cool about the Orc Mirror nowadays. For so many years, this matchup was set in stone. Blade Master Shadow, Raider Walker. You couldn't really do anything else. Then, maybe 1 or 2 years ago, we saw some Tier 3 getting incorporated for Master Training, for Orb of Lightning, and stuff like that.
Kodo Aura, yeah.
But nowadays, yeah, Shadowhunter Pit Lord, you can play even Farseer first, although that has become extremely rare.
Shout out to Spiral and his Farseer Tower Rushes. Maybe some Asians are picking up on this.
Yeah, pretty sure Spiral is tuned in. Normally
For
when
sure.
Lin plays, he watches most like every org. Who is going to play us, show us the better build? Who's going to show us what strategy is superior? What we can glean from the map vetoes, they don't seem to be wanting to go to big maps. Usually the bigger the map, the more likely we do have Tier 3, super late game, torrents, expansions, all that stuff. We have Echo and AZ. That's tiny maps. It's very small rush distances, and it's also very few creeps, to be honest.
Yes.
For creeping up a third hero TC, which you really want on level 3 pretty quickly, at least level 2, those are the best maps. LR, I could certainly see Tier 3, but on the other two, not going to be so easy.
We'll see about that. I talked to Lin in the hall not too long ago, and of course the Asians always say it depends on luck who wins, like that's what they do. But in Orc Mirror, they do have a point with that. Like getting rid of Twisted, getting rid of Concealed, where it's a lot about who gets the Ogre Lord in the middle, is someone getting a Brilliance Aura. That can decide games in Warcraft 3 on this very level, so getting rid of these maps is understandable. With this prize pool, especially with Round Robin, where you're not allowed to slip once, you don't want a series decided by 1 or 2 items. So I guess it's the smart choice, especially in early stages of a tournament where you don't know where you find yourself yet. Are you in shape? Did you bring your best? We'll see about that.
There's also kind of a thing to be said for Round Robin. There's more games here than in the GSL format. In GSL, you play 2 games or 3 games, depending on how it goes. But here, players have more chances to show their play and perhaps experiment a little bit more.
Indeed. It is the biggest Warcraft Gold League ever. And we started with 2 of the biggest orcs that we've ever had in Warcraft 3. It is the nowadays classic between newbie and rogue warriors. It is Korea versus China, also a classic. It is Lin versus Fly. We're getting into match number 1. Oh boy. I feel like I'm a 12-year-old broken record that's almost as long as I cast Warcraft 3, and I've been casting Fly games for pretty much all 12 years. And whenever there's a Fly game, we have to mention one very important thing, Mr. Remo Demo, and that is how often will he lose his Blade Master?
Always a big determining factor. It is a meme, but one that is actually true. Fly plays oftentimes so riskily with this first hero, and what we're expecting here will certainly be the Blade Master. On Echo Isles especially, we talked earlier about the Shadowhunter, but for that you really need to rely on quick creeping, ideally with a lightning shield. That's not doable here, so Blade Master, especially with all the claws sprinkled across the map, seems like the only hero you can really go for. And then it's about creep routes. How quick are you going to tech? How many items are you going to be able to pick up? How much experience will you be able to get?
Let's take a look at the first heroes first as the altars are finishing on Echo Isles. It is Lin going for Blade Master. That's the standard, especially on Echo Isles. And Fly!
Whoa!
Okay. Okay.
On
it's
Echo.
Lin, actually. It's Fly with the Blade and Lin with the Shadowhunter on Echo. That's something new. He wants to get revenge for that AZ game in CC Masters.
2 borrow tech as well. I think he has to play like that. He needs to get more grunts out for more creeping. Last time I saw Shadow first from Lin was at the Blizzard Invitational. How long was that ago? Like
Oh,
1.5
man.
years or something?
Yep.
Against Happy. It was a phenomenal game, by the way. Huh. So, wait a minute. Does that have to mean Pit Lord?
Not necessarily. You can follow up with a Blade Master as well. Depends a little on the items he finds, I guess. And how fast can you get level 2 with a Blade to unlock at least Critical Strike. Because that's what you lack when you go Shadowhunter first. You lack damage. And if you get a Blade Master level 2 with good items, you have that damage and Critical Strike. Pit Lord brings the damage as well, and damage mitigation on the other side, so things are equaling out a little with that Pit Lord initially. So plenty of options for Lin to go for. He is the innovator of orcs, and he shows it here once again. Historically between the two, opening up with a circlet, by the way, it's always very nice. Historically between the two, Lin has 20 wins over Fly, 10 wins for Fly, so it's a 66% win rate pretty much for Lin. On this patch, 1.31, it's still 1-2-1, so we have a little bit of a grudge match here.
Blade Master's coming over, gets the claws, and a nice little drive-by. And there's no Hex to deal with them just yet.
It's heal wave first, indeed, and here, a little slow coming out of the window. Maybe he wants to trap him here, but there is this little niche where he can pass through. Good for Fly. Oh, he has the vision, I was about to say. Lin doesn't, but by revealing the Blade Master, Lin knows what's up and can take things a little more carefully here. The tier 2 tech by Fly is a lot faster, of course, due to the 1 burrow tech.
Yeah. And so it's basically in his best interest to play aggressively right now. He sees, okay, you went for the 2 burrow tech, you got the 2 grunts out. I can't really keep up with your creep speed. Is he... Wait, did he see the heal wave? Like, Fly isn't even bringing in his grunt. He's just elsewhere on the map. Perhaps he's afraid of Hex. Maybe that's the reason. Shadow at the shop, that must be the dust. Makes dealing with the Blade Master a lot easier.
Fly is chipping away a little on these grunts, and that might force early use of heal self, which with the Shadowhunter, don't you want to like save the money for the heal self because you have healing anyway? He's using it now to be able to contest this Blade Master, but it's good distraction by Fly. He wants to keep the Shadowhunter away from level 3, and it's working marvelously so far.
Yeah, good slowdown here. Question is, how good is his own progress gonna be? You do want that level 2 pretty early on, and level 3 ideally pretty quickly as well, so you can solo level the Shadowhunter, which will be the second hero for anything else would be quite surprising. Blade Master looking for some last hits, but there we go, finally.
Just a tiny null. That doesn't do too much, but again, slows Lin down a little bit more. This is not how the Korean expected this early game to go. You want this jump start with faster creeping thanks to Hex. Maybe this being Lin, maybe you want to open up the natural for this expansion.
Yeah, I think
Would be pretty ludicrous, but I mean, Lin is Lin.
And Fly's just playing a pretty good counter strat here, I feel. A good counter build. This Shadowhunter can't control the Blade Master just yet. Really hard to prevent last hit steals. And Fly's doing a good job slowing this first hero of the Korean down. This is a big last hit. This might be level 2 actually for the Shadow. I think it should be if he gets it.
We'll see it in the overlay. If not on the screen, there we go. Shadowhunter level 2. That means Hex usually. And here we go. The disable ability for the Shadowhunter will help against this Blade, but he's tanking a little too many hits, I think. Okay, uses a speed scroll now as well, and Fly just walking away, healing up, is waiting for the Shadowhunter, I guess. Should pop out any minute. Lin arriving on tier 2 as well. It's Raider Walker time, but what is his second hero?
Looks like Pit Lord. He's going to the tavern.
Fly with great scouting.
Nice thing about the Pit Lord here is also you want to be able, of course, to level him quickly, but you also need items. And on Echo Isles, always, if you don't find the damage items, you can buy the damage items. And here he is, the big boy Pit Lord. They've been good friends for a while, these two.
Yep.
If you haven't tuned into Warcraft for a while, this might surprise you, but this strat has been pretty popular, even on 1.30, I would say, the early days. It began against Night Elf, but nowadays also in the Orc Mirror.
Okay, Lightning Shield creep by Fly. This will be level 2 for him. And how much can the Blade Master Fly steal at the shop? That would be big denies right there. But we focus on the Shadowhunter for now. Fly is not denying anything just yet. So this looks good. Also not using spells here, saving the mana. 2.1 only. Like, did oh, there we go! A vintage Fly! First game of the tournament, and he is losing his Blade Master to Hex. Unfortunate, I guess, but
Fly.
it's just Fly.
We just saw the tail end of this, but Hex level 1 doesn't last that long. That means he must have gone in with pretty low HP. At least
He denied a lot, though, right? I think he denied at least one creep.
from the Mercamp.
Yeah. No, from the
yes.
merchant.
Stole, you mean?
Yeah.
Possibly. And it's a level 1 hero, so at least he's going to be back soon. But the Pit Lord keeps on creeping. Ring for him is actually really nice.
Yes. If you tune into this for the first time in a while, rings actually are useful now. They got buffed from +2 to +3, and armor in general became a little more efficient in Warcraft. We will see that definitely on Mountain Kings and Torrent Chieftains down the tournament. But nice steal by Lin to go for the bottom right, to steal the experience of Fly there. The map is pretty much mirrored in half. There's 2 unique spots, one at the 12 o'clock and one at the 6 o'clock. But apart from that, usually you own one half of the map. And by stealing this, he denies some XP for Fly, which is so important, especially for the Shadowhunter who's approaching level 3.
Biggest problem, I guess, with this Blade Master hero loss was that Fly for a while lost all map control, and there's only one shop. And of course, our B2W boys will know about shop control. Only one heal scroll. That is a massive item in this matchup, and that one went to Lin, thanks to the hero kill. Pretty close to level ups here. Shadow almost level 3, Pit Lord getting close to 3 as well, and the Merc camp seems to be the perfect camp now to get those level ups, which means Fly is going to get the big item at the Ogre Magi. The big mana potion is always what you want. That's what he's hoping for right now.
Yeah, kind of surprised that Lin gives up the consumable pretty much uncontested, just buying time for this mercenary camp creep, getting level 3 finally, and that is heal wave level 2 on him.
Yeah, he was too hurt, I think, to contest. He didn't have heal salves anymore. He was creeping pretty aggressively.
This is a big one right there. We have the big mana potion on the SH of Fly, but we also have the Pendant of Energy on Lin's side. So both are able to use a couple of more spells. And a Pendant of Energy for Fly as well.
And it's
Whoa, wow.
level 2 Serpent Boards, by the way.
What? Oh, yeah.
It's good against grunts, but against everything else, it doesn't really seem that good.
Is he? Okay,
Tower
tower push on tier 2. What? Okay. Still lack of damage. All heroes level 3. Let's go. Cleave does a ton of damage, and the lack of range is definitely seeable here. How do you counter the wards now?
Oh, the cleave. Look every hit. How the XP is dropping. If he gets the right angle, this is so much DPS. Looking certainly like more DPS than the level 2 Blade Master. His items are okay, but now he's low. He has to be careful with an end snare coming. This could be again his end. Reveal coming in, and snare not ready though, as it seems. And there's a Kodo here for Lin. Where's Fly's Kodo?
Not coming. He used that time for the towers, I guess, or the resources. He's cleaning up the wards, and Fly has to retreat. This is why we usually do not see tower rushes in Orc Mirror, especially not on tier 2. It's seemingly easy defense for Lin, but Fly, not willing to go all in, holds on to his potion, can save that for later. Serpent Wards 2, was that the best idea? He needs to creep level 4 now to be able to take a fight. But he gets the next heal wave as well.
Difficult position here. We have a 13 supply lead for the Korean. How is he going to capitalize on this advantage? He could just creep up the rest of the map or continue to force fights. Buying more claws, more damage for this Pit Lord who's getting close to level 4. Shadowhunter close to 4 as well. A well-timed Hex could be a big deal. This Blade Master already has issues finding his damage output, his uptime. And Hex could make that even more problematic.
Okay, with that choke, does it help Fly? I don't think so. The Pit Lord can tank a lot, and then a lot of units will attack him. He can use that cleave down to to 2/3 at the moment. Then the shop is gone. That means no clarities, no potions for the Shadowhunter. Not that big of a deal at the moment, but once again, slowing Fly down.
I was half expecting a peon expansion here behind this little push.
Oh, there's a red dot moving south, Remo. Maybe it's the call.
Oh, that makes sense. He's got the money for it. Also really important, by the way, that Lin held on to that heal scroll during that push. So he still has that to rely on, which again is such a big item when so much Spirit Link is involved.
So again, Pit Lord front row with the Spirit Link. Such a nice synergy that he's capitalizing off. 2 Kodos for Fly. Could eat units, but he needs a speed scroll for that, I guess. Otherwise he will be caught with the end snare. And it's just a little back and forth by now. No one really wants to commit to this fight.
This strat is looking so good, though. Committing now a little bit to the Pit Lord. But he's so tanky, Howl coming in. And the thing is, if you dispel the Howl on you, you also dispel your own Spiritling. This makes it really weird to deal with this debuff. Aiming for the Kodo right away. One Kodo for Fly, got to eat. Lin with a counter Devour. 2 units now out of the fight. Blade Master once again a little bit hurt here in the front line. But one Kodo will fall. There was a heal scroll. It seems like Fly was able to get one with the Blade Master early, but that one is gone now.
Yeah, both used their heal scrolls. The good thing for Fly is he still has so much mana on the Shadow Hunter. He can just pop it and then heal again. But he is losing the second Kodo. That was a mistake. He was waiting for level 4, but it didn't arrive in time. So finally the level 2 heal wave. That's worth the mana potion. Fly still 40 supply though, dropping in supply. The Pit Lord is still standing so strong. And where's the healing now? It must come from the Shadow Hunter, but it only comes in intervals. And that is time for Lin to clean it up even more. Fly plummeting to 37 supply while Lin is expanding. Is looking good for the Korean.
If this expansion comes up, this game looks almost unlosable then for the Korean. Blade Master, does he perhaps have the read? The Blade by himself could perhaps cancel this expansion. But yeah, we have to come back to the Serpent Wards. Like, where we actually see him being really good is against unarmored units, the Huntresses. There's no unarmored here. Well, I guess there's the Kodos, but normally they're not in range. I'm not so convinced about this build at all.
I don't really get it either. Maybe he thought, okay, he's so high on melee units that he can't take them out, and then the damage output is still good. But no, Lin found the answer pretty much immediately.
Inventory is looking good. We have 4 damage items, 1 armor item. Fly. What is that attack? That looks weird.
Yeah, like no consumables as well. He's just walking to a meat grinder, isn't he? He wants to take out a production building maybe, but here we go. End snare again, the most important thing in Orc Mirror. Take out these Kodos, but it will take time. There is Spirit Link on. But how do you deal with this Pit Lord? Fly has no answer. He's trying with right clicks, but no.
And the Chinese doing a pretty good job here splitting. He was trying to avoid the splash as much as he can from the cleave. But at this point, he's just too far behind. 10 supply deficit, not really something he can come back from. Kodo is gonna die despite all the attempts to save it. Oh, and the Shadow Hunter might be falling next.
Hex.
Hex coming in and
right
snare.
Clicks, and that must be it. Without a Shadow Hunter, you cannot win Orkmir. The Kodo falls now. The Serpent Wards do good damage, especially to the walkers here. But apart from that, what does he have left? He's trying desperately to get a counter kill on the first hero for Lin, but he just moves him back, gets to the shop, gets something to drink, and he will be fine again.
Yeah, the Serpent Wards actually being ignored now for a while. It seemed like earlier Lin was trying to take him out. But for the time being, they're just being, left alone. But Lin is finding more and more kills. Level 5 on the Pit Lord. That's a second hero, you guys.
So much damage. Level 3 cleave. There's no way against it. GG! Lin takes map number 1 here in Shanghai. Fly, weird strategies. Of course, I mean, losing the Blade Master there was definitely the critical mistake of the game. Without that kill, I don't know if the game still is that one-sided, but he had a great early game. He had pretty much the perfect early game against this very hero combo, but then again threw it out the window and felt a little desperate.
I mean, slowing down the Shadow is nice. I certainly agree with you, especially when he's too borrow teching, where otherwise he could accelerate really quickly and get a lot of levels. But it also cost him. He didn't get levels himself. He was like level 1.4 for a long time. He was level 1.6 when he died. And then it looks like in this tier 2 versus tier 2 playstyle, you already have issues keeping up with the damage of the Pit Lord. And if you lose your Blade Master, if you don't accelerate quickly enough, you just can't hold on anymore in the 50 versus 50 fights, it seems.
Yeah, that absolutely didn't work at the end. This tower push, was it desperation already, or was that the initial game plan?
I think when he went for the level 2 Serpents, that was already his plan.
Yes,
so
yeah,
that
of
was
course. Yeah, with that pick, yeah, sure.
Kind of early. And it does make sense on paper. You have the Pendant of Energy, you have big mana, you have Serpent Wards too. That's a lot of snakes right there. And if you can get the towers up, maybe you can contain him, kill him over time, but
maybe he thought the Pit Lord isn't as strong as he was, and he has more time, and then gets the towers up and can retreat into the towers, use the heal cells with the shop back then, but yeah, little misjudging the situation here, maybe. So, as it is, round robin, a 5-player group, and this group is just world-class players, nothing else. It's a great start for whoever wins here. And Fly picks Last Refuge.
Okay. If it had been Amazonia, I would have definitely expected Shadow Hunter again. Like AZ is actually much better for Shadow.
For Fly or Lin? Or both?
For Lin. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe for both. Maybe.
It would have been fun.
LR doesn't seem to be the best for Shadow Hunter. Not that easy to creep. But it's the same on Echo Isles, and he still played it. He still made it work. But it's also a really good map for Blade Master sniping items. Pulling out the Ogre Lord, ensnare, surround, get a big one. Also get the Ogre Magi up at the laboratory. So many amazing item steals you can, or sneaks you can get on that map. And has always been a Blade Master home turf. So wouldn't be too surprised to see the Blade Master here. And after all, this is the big map out of the 3 we have left in the pool. This could be one of those tier 3 games.
We talked quite a bit about the tier 3, and it would be a little disappointing if we don't see it here. It's so funny that a human player changed the Orc Mirror meta.
Yeah.
In Infi,
Infi.
who brought this in on this very map.
He's a genius. He is a genius. There's no two ways about it. Speaking of tier 3, by the way, when you go Shadow, Pit Lord, you don't really want tier 3, right? Like having an Orb of Lightning on the Pit Lord, it's
really do
okay,
too much.
but it's not really, like, you know, the cleave makes him good, not really the purge effect. And if you want to go tier 3, you want triple hero, but with Shadow, Pit Lord, you really don't want to play triple hero because you want to level those up
Yeah,
as much as
5/5
possible.
is so sick and doesn't
Pit
really
Lord
work.
for all the damage, Shadow for all the healing. Great combo.
Okay, Lin versus Fly continues on map number 2, Last Refuge. Fly's pick, and his... he needs to win this, otherwise he's out with the 0-2. Not out, but, you know, down with the 0-2. Maybe a better game plan, maybe more faith in creeping this time. Let's see. Hero picks once again. Super important to determine the pace of the game. We have Fly in the blue in the upper right for the Rogue Warriors, and China Lin representing South Korea and Newbie in the red and the bottom left.
Can't believe he lost his Blade Master unnecessarily. In the first game, dude. In the very first game. This has been worming its way into Fly's gameplay for so many years. Perhaps this time on map 2 here, he can avoid it. Is it going to be double Blade Master, or are we going to have the surprise Shadow Hunter again? This would not be the standard map to do it on, but neither is Echo. And if this is Shadow Hunter again, I have to give a shout out to someone where I wasn't sure that they were right. So I'm waiting with bated breath. What's it gonna be?
Fly, by the way, his last 3 tournaments, he was eliminated by 3 orcs. We have a Blade Master here. CC Masters Cup, it was Lin. October Pro Qualifier for WGL, it was Infi in an Orc Mirror. And last time at the CC Masters Qualifier number 1, it was Focus. So apparently, at the moment, Fly not the best in the Orc Mirror due to his Blade Master losses over and over again. Will we see an Orc Mirror where he's not losing his first tier? That would be... could be a game changer right here. It was... all the time was very close. It was oftentimes a 2-1, except against Focus. Fly's year kind of... it's a weird year, I think. He was a little, I want to say, mediocre, eliminated in rounds of 8 or in the round of 12. And then all of a sudden, there was PPL, this 4-player tournament, and he looked like a demigod against TH there. So strong. Then came One Belt, One Road, and he eliminated Happy from that tournament. And we were like, what the F is going on with Fly? All of a sudden, he's back. But then came the 3 orcs, and he couldn't follow up on that. I thought maybe WGL, but apparently not yet, judging from map number 1.
But Fly offline, you can never count him out. It doesn't matter how much he's been practicing, how much effort he's putting in. He can just turn on beast mode like so many of these top players. Nice little steal there by Fly, I believe it was.
Yes, and the Watch Award stolen as well.
Quick fingers. Wait, did he skip the barracks? No, he has a grunt walking around the right-hand side of the map as well. So it seems like one borrowed tech for both these guys. That is the standard opening with the Blade Masters. And
yeah, we gotta say about Lin, like Lin had the craziest Orc Mirror win percentage in all of Warcraft, most likely the history of Warcraft, with 81% in competitive play, not ladder, where this happens. 81% win rate against the best of the best. That is Lin. He dropped down a little with the rise of Focus and Infi in Orc Mirror, but still, he is the biggest force in Orc Mirror for sure. So even if Fly loses, that like it's no super big deal. Wouldn't be a big surprise.
Yeah, but you need to be careful here if you want to advance from Group B. You cannot afford many losses. There's so many strong players in this group. And Lin, if he gets the 2-0 here, this is going to be a great start for him. Coming in for the last hit once again. Dust.
Lin reveals. Can Fly still get the last hit? He's waiting for the Windwalk to expire, so he can't get that backstab
Nice
damage.
movement.
Well done by Lin. A little bit of damage on his Blade Master now, but there should be self soon. Oh, reveal now. Does he have mana for it?
That was really good control by Fly. How he minimized the damage on his own Blade Master and put on damage on the enemy Blade, and now gets the last hit.
Gotta be careful,
Is he gonna die?
To the creeps, though, right?
Fly.
My, this game, once again, 3 minutes 30 old, I believe, for 4 minutes. And again, the Blade Master goes 6 feet under. That's Fly in a nutshell. He has this great moment that you pointed out, this great control where he had the best moment possible in that situation. 2 seconds later, you see this little message that your first hero dropped.
It's really heavy memeing right here so far. First 2 games already Fly. Losing his level 1 hero, arguably unnecessarily. However, he got decent experience. It was only level 1 with 0 XP for Lin for a very long time. He could have chased down the 1 grunt, but that would have taken time. He let him get away instead and prioritizes creeping up now himself rather.
But again, Lin owns the map now. I mean, Fly is trying to engage. He pretty much knows where he is. But that camp is for free. And the rest of the camp at the bottom was also for free. Ooh, Fly taking a little risk here. It is on the other side of where Lin is, so he is aware of the movement of the Korean.
Interesting that he goes for that one. So he might be wanting to save the gold mine for the Shadow Hunter. That's always a great camp to solo creep with your second hero. Peon Scout send out already. What is he looking for? It's way too early for an expansion. Maybe just for creep movement.
Yeah, maybe he did think that Fly would go for his mine. You know, he tricked him there a little. Nice little sidestep by Fly. Now Shadow Hunter out already. Only for Lin though, and he knows, man. Fly's army is at the left-hand side. Shadow Hunter still takes some time. Let's go. And he gets revenge.
If it triggers an ensnare there, perhaps he could try to look for a kill. Why is the Shadow so late for Fly, by the way?
That is a very good question. I was thinking the same.
The Blade Master wasn't really occupying the altar so long. Was he supply stuck, maybe?
Coming now. Yeah, maybe he forgot a burrow. Raider Walker now with ensnare upgrade. It's hard to catch up already. With the big camp at the green being taken out, with Lin making a move to the expansion, with the ogres already gone the bottom left. That's not easy. Nice Hex. Is the damage enough or can he get out? No, well timed.
That's 4 damage items right there. No claws, but double circlet, double gloves.
Oh, Hex now maybe. Here we go. Needs a little luck with crit, but he's not getting it. And counter Hex to get out with Windwalk and Speed Scroll.
Nice Hex there, covering the retreat. Without the Blade Master, there certainly isn't enough damage to find the kill on the first hero.
Is it just me or does Lin seem super confident?
Yeah, he does.
He knows everything and he punishes everything so far.
And this Shadowhunter being delayed, man, this is really costing him. There's already a big experience lead for the Korean on the Shadow especially. Wait, it's actually not. Huh, I thought it was. Never mind. We go up to the lab. There's big items here. Mana Stone, hells yeah.
What are these items in this series? On Echo Isles, big mana and pendants. Now we have the Mana Stone, regenerates mana, and if you consume it, you get 300 mana back. Great item for sure.
Biggest question for the overall remainder of the game is someone going to go tier 3? If Fly goes tier 3, this could be really scary. He is with a bit of a deficit here still.
Yeah, but can he survive a tier 2 push?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it might be too dangerous. And it feels like Lin is in a good enough position to afford tier 3.
We do get a heal scroll on Lin's side. Again, the first one going to him.
And a big mana for Fly. That's exactly what he wanted.
Wow.
Using up quite a bit of his RNG already in the first 2 games.
So what's Lin gonna get? Scroll of the Beast? Nah. can be a nice little damage boost, but you need to drain the mana of the walkers
Yeah,
a
normally.
little. Usually there's always mana for the spell, so that will be one for the shop, maybe trading it for an invul potion or something. Red spot time. Fly thinks that way at least. Oh, gets this around actually. What?
Oh, the blade. If he
coming
steals
in.
this.
Stealing Magpie. Reveal used, but it's very hard to see, but immediately disengaging.
Speed scroll engage. Disengage. Fly thinks better of it, and that's the speed scroll gone. That's a big deal, especially once Kodos come in, which should be very soon.
But Lin is not backing off entirely. Takes his time, not wasting time, but creeps on further. Level 3 for the Blade. Level 2 Windwalk, kind of interesting. Level 2.8 for the Shadowhunter. 2.9 actually, so close. Oh, the Shadowhunter out of position for Lin. What's going on there? Hex to get out of there. Level 3 heal wave, Scroll of the Beast being used.
Yeah, this Ogre Lord pickup is a big deal. That one level up was, that one kill was the level up, and the Walker perhaps gonna die as well. Nope, nice save there with heal wave. One more grunt is gonna die, however, and it's 2 kills for 0 so far.
Yeah.
Fly needs to get the 0 kill.
Exactly, but no dispel against this Hex, so there's pretty much no damage uptime. Needs some crits now. Use the heal wave, but there's more mana to save them. Here's the first critical strike on the Hex again. Both are using a lot of mana in this situation. He's trying to fight out. Blade Master arriving now as well for Lin. Still the Scroll of the Beast right there. It's so close. Healing him up again. And the peons have arrived. Oh, the Shadowhunter now in trouble in the north as well. Lin is losing him, but I guess he's just trading. Looks like it. Shadowhunter number 1 down, but oh! Fly keeps him with level 3 now.
There was a lot of units that Fly lost, though. I'm not sure that was worth it. Look at the army size here. It's a 10 supply lead, with the second hero being dead.
And with Raider in the stomach. Lin just continues pushing. He has won many games without Shadowhunters in his army or without Blade Masters. He does not care. And this army, as you say, looks pretty strong. 15 supply advantage.
Yeah, Lin could just buy back the Shadow if he wants. Wouldn't have mana, of course.
He also has the Mana Stone gone, so maybe the better idea to get him back. And get some solo experience on the Blade. Is level 2 critical strike now. And all that time where he is pushing or distracting. Oh, going for the Shadow Hunt. Oh, wow. Without Hex, that would be a crazy move to kill the Shadow here. But Lin just keeps him busy. Usually if you get a hero kill on the second hero, both armies disengage, and the one with the second hero like gets an advantage in experience for that second spell. But this is not happening here because Lin just full throttle.
58 crit, man. That was a very low roll. That wasn't very lucky. There's not enough damage here, as shown by the crit, among other things. Fly can't really fight. And Lin, I love that he's so patiently waiting for the Shadow. There's no need to go for the expensive revive. He's strong enough. He can just hang around here and look for a bit more trading. And I guess keep Fly from creeping up more.
How does he get out of this chokehold now? He can't go to the shop. That's a big thing. I mean, he could risk it with Windwalk.
It's level 4 blade versus level 2 blade, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot more damage. And of course, the uptime on Windwalk in this situation is really good because Lin knows, okay, I can step back a little. He's creeping there. I don't want to engage into this movement, but I can go for the red spot. I can go to the turtle. I can do whatever I want now on Last Refuge.
So here we go, Ogre Lord. Big item right here. We're hoping for the auras. Well, not the command aura. That one doesn't stack anymore. But all the other ones are great. Cloak of Flames, also really good.
Since when?
If there is a hero who can carry it in a sturdy front line, that's always my argument, it's good. And it's Orc Mirror. We have Spirit Link. Blade Master is the tankiest boy on the field. It's nice.
All right. Invul Potion as well. This game has been pretty hero focus heavy. So going for an Invul is a nice idea. Fly is lacking in that department. Sees, okay, that red spot is gone, and the mine is also gone. He has to go for a fight, but with 12 supply less and these hero levels, I'm not sure if that's, again, the best idea for Fly. Could be a 2-0 right here if he's not super careful.
Yeah, this is such a big disadvantage. Supply, hero levels, perhaps even upgrades, I don't know. The items are also insane. Kodo's going forward, trying to munch. Gets one Devour off against the Grunt at least. But the other Kodo is ensnared there and might be falling. More Heat Waves coming in, who's got more mana. Looks like it's pretty even between the Shadowhunters, but this Kodo falling is a big deal. And Blade Masters now duking it out. Both have Invul, I believe.
No, Fly doesn't. He has to run. He only has a Shadow Hunter, but mana is limited here as well. Another Walker surrounded. What a nice step by this Blade Master. Just walk in front, does that extra step. You are not getting out of here, my friend. And yeah, the supply lead increases. Can he reach with the Raider? It's going to be one more kill, especially on that Kodo Beast. And shop control as well, man. Lin is doing so many things so right.
Yeah. Masterclass of Orc Mirror here by Lin. This is looking like the old days of Lin playing against Orcs. Yeah. He's just outplaying them little by little.
Blade kill number 3, and that decides the game. Lin takes the series very convincingly. He's not shaking on the stage here. He came into this as one of the favorites, and he prevailed here.
Absolutely strong performance. And normally we say about Fly, well, you don't really have to consider his online games too much. Offline, he plays well and he shows up and performs. That didn't look that clean from him, those games. Both games with Blade Master losses unnecessarily, falling behind, Blade Master not accelerating the way he was supposed to, and taking, at times, very weird engagements.
Yes. On both maps. Like, losing the Blade, and not too long after, going for fights where he clearly had the lower hand, I think, and didn't work out at all. He needs to step up his game and his decision-making drastically to somehow be able to survive this group, because he has to win against Lawlight now, he has to win against TH now, he has to win against Foggy now as well.
Yeah, with a performance like that, I mean, it's early days. It's only the first match. You can still bounce back. But if Fly keeps on playing like that, that is probably not going to be good enough to get out of this group. Him and unless Foggy, you know, dazzles us once again, I'm a little bit worried for. We're still going to see TH in this group and Lawlight, as you said. So, yeah, the craziness of Group B will continue. But before that happens, we have Group A coming up next. It's going to be WZ versus Hawk.
Indeed. We're waiting for some results of the game that was played at the same time here in Group B. We will update you, of course, after this little break that we're taking here. But, yeah, the Western scene is coming to Shanghai right now. It's going to be Human versus Undead, a matchup that is loved and hated around the world. Hawk versus WFZ. WFZ is no 1-2-0 and he's no happy, but still he has some crazy builds. He's grinding like crazy since he joined Lucky Future, the clan of Happy, and maybe being clanmates and of the same race, Happy had some good tips here and there.
I know that he certainly saw a lot of replays from Happy, but just seeing what he does doesn't mean that you can do what he does, because I would know. I watch a lot of Happy streams, and
they went to a lot of magician shows. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, my microcontrol, not exactly on the same level. Yeah, but WFZ and Hawk, both somewhat similar in the regard that they have really good performances occasionally, especially online, I would say, for WFZ that is. But at WGL, at this tournament, nobody's really ever had that breakout moment.
True, especially Hawk. He was in seemingly easy groups before and then lost to TBC. Also in Undead, definitely not considered tier 1 or even tier 2. So yeah, it's a little bit of history repeating here. Yeah. And I hope Hawk grew as a player. He had great offline performances this year at MTW Legendary Cup and of course 4th place at WCG. That was super strong, but to be honest, we did not have the strongest Undeads in the world representing there, so we'll see. This matchup has changed a little as well. We will go into this. How well does he do? Is he going Knights? How does he like the rifles? Does he want to go tier 3? A lot of questions that we will hopefully answer in the next to come. This was only game 1. We have 5 games per day on each group stage day. That's 4 of them. Then, of course, we have 4 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, the game for 3rd, and the grand final. This is the new channel by Blizzard for Warcraft 3, so you should definitely hit that follow button over there, because I am pretty sure that this is not going to be the last tournament we will broadcast here on this channel.
Absolutely not. We've been coming here to WGL twice a year, and it's always been an absolute highlight. One of my personal highlights of the year, certainly. And, well, last WGL we'll all remember when Happy lifted the trophy against the Keeper. That was quite astonishing moments. Can, perhaps, another European do it? Honestly, it would be a massive surprise. But, like, Hawk, he has been... Is he still the best human in Europe? You especially might disagree.
Thorzane is fighting for that crown for sure. It's a lot about the day-to-day performances on that level. It's really cool to see how pretty much everyone except Happy has this one contender for that crown. Oh, not maybe Night Elves are a little weaker on that side as well.
Wait, are you saying that 1-0 absolutely is not in contention for the crown?
No, I mean Europe.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, who's Night Elf number 2 in Europe?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's not talk about Night Elves. They don't matter.
Not in this match.
Not in this match.
Yeah, Hawk, I wonder, is he still unsatisfied with this matchup in general and with his performance? In the months prior, especially at the MTW Legendary Cup, for example, he sounded a little bit frustrated against Undead, but he has been changing up his play style. He most recently played against Happy in the W League Europe, and that was a very close series with 3-2. Yeah. And it was very, very fascinating to me because Hawk there played the meta of previous WGL, which is one base tier 3 rush. And the humans, the greats, Infi and TH, who played it there, have now gone away from that style, but Hawk was still playing it. Is he still playing it now, or is he also going back to the fast expansion? Going to be interesting to see. WFZ won't be able to tell too easily, I think, what's going to be coming his way.
No, neither can we, really. Like, we should have the best insight about Hawk, right, with the games that we've casted from the European scene. But especially here, Hawk seems a little quieter than usual. I think he seems very focused. I mean, he's still a super nice guy, and he's joking around a little bit here and there, especially with 100 kg and Cash being here. But I feel he puts a lot more focus on his practice compared to previous editions.
Especially before WCG, he was practicing like crazy. He was super pumped for that tournament.
No sleep.
That was just grinding, 40 katkas a day or whatever. But has he been practicing that much for this tournament?
I don't know.
It seemed like he should because, yeah, this is a lucky group. There's no two ways about it. If he had landed in group B
lucky,
instead,
but also very competitive group with like being on the same level. And again,
that's true.
Okay, we give you the highlights of the first match, and then we're back with Hawk versus WFZ.